What's new?
Well, I keep pretty busy. We went to Hawaii, in December. Had a really good time. I'd never been there before, and it was like another dream, like Washington, D.C. We had a really good time. Tammy drove us all around the island. We had a
Tell us about Hawaii. Where'd they take you?
Oh, we went to all of the veterans' benefits, all their galas and everything pertaining, because we sat with the veterans. We went as a veteran. And Garth Brooks and his wife were there. Trisha Yearwood, we were invited to their concert. We went on Waikiki Beach. Gary Sinise was there singing for 2 hours right on the beach. Oh, there's so many things we did. We were there for 8 days. And Tammy's from there, so she knew where to go and what to do and kept us busy. Yeah. I hope so. Be nice. I haven't heard, but it'd be nice. That was my first time. I couldn't believe it. It's so unreal. Everybody was so nice, and the food is so good. It has a different spice. Makes it really good.
Well, you have any other travel plans coming up?
No.
Are you going to Richmond every Friday?
Every Friday we go there. And during the week. Sometimes we're there 3 or 4 days a week. If somebody wants us to come. We had a girl and her husband come from France about a month ago. And they were going to Hawaii, but she's into the Rosies in France. So she stopped to visit the Rosies for 3 hours. We closed down the visiting room that we are in and just had them there and visited with them. And she brought us a nice album with all the pictures of the women that are Rosies. They pretend to be Rosies and they go in the parade dressed as Rosies. And when we have our Rosie rally in August, she's going to have a bunch of Rosies gather like that in France. She's really spreading the word over there.
She really got taken by you guys, huh?
Yeah, she said if it weren't for us, they wouldn't have been free either. But they were very nice.
You should go to Australia. They'll love you there too.
I've never dreamed of that either. I never dreamed of going to Washington, D.C., because I knew I couldn't afford to go. Never thought about it, but I did. And stood right beside him, got my picture made.
But you didn't kiss him like Phyllis.
No, I didn't kiss him.
Yeah, that was cute. But that's awesome, right? How did you feel to sit next to the president?
It was very nice. Before I left, there was a man called from the radio station, and he said, "Are you the Marion Wynn that was invited by the vice president to come to Washington, D.C.?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Well, don't say anything right now. I'm going to ask you a question. And I want you to answer the first thing that comes in your mind." So he said, "What was your first thought when you found out you're going to Washington, D.C.?" And I said, "This poor little girl that only had 2 dresses to wear to school, and now I'm going to the White House." We were raised during the Depression, and my dad worked for $69 a month, and we had 11 kids. So we didn't have anything. He gave my sister and I each a dime one morning when we went to school to see if we could buy a pair of anklets for a dime. And we went to every store in town and found a pair for 7 cents, and we had 3 pennies for candy. That's how poor we were. We never, I still save my plastic bags and everything. My daughter says, "Mom, we're not in the Depression anymore." But I still save.
Well, yeah, I think that's common.
You're raised that way. You can't throw away a nice bag. You only use it one time.
That was your formative years. That's what happened.
Yeah. We had a lot of love. We didn't have any money, but we had a lot of love.
You got what you needed.
Yeah.
then you got a real job.
Then I worked ever since I was 9 years old. I started out herding cows when I was 9 years old.
You got paid
For the neighbor, yeah. I lived with the neighbors. I just stayed there. And my folks would come and visit me, and they'd take me home sometimes to visit them. And then at the end of the summer, they gave me a check. And my mom gave me the Montgomery Ward catalog, and I picked out all my school clothes. And I had 10 cents left, and she said, you can have a Shirley Temple cutout doll. So that's what I got, all my new clothes for to school.
You're 9 years old and you have
9.
clothes.
Well,
I know, no, I'm just saying,
we just did.
get that through their heads.
You know, we didn't have anything, so we had to. If we wanted anything. I was 9, yeah. But I've always had a job babysitting or taking care of somebody's house or picking the weeds out of the strawberry patch or something. I always had a job.
Then you went to San Francisco.
Then I went to Richmond. And when I left the shipyards, I got a job at the cannery. There's a cannery about 2 blocks from there. I had worked in a cannery when I was 16, so I had experience. So I went there and they gave me a job. 3 weeks later, the war was over. My husband was in the hospital, so somebody had to work. So my father-in-law had given us a trailer house to live in, but we didn't have anything in it, so we had to work. Yeah. Back at that time, you could work in the cannery, get laid off, and then you could draw unemployment. So either work or draw unemployment. Oh, yeah. Then my husband got out. He couldn't get a job, so he went to school during the, what do they call it, GI Bill, and learned to be an auto mechanic. So he did that for several years. Oh, yeah. Then he'd overhaul cars at night after work for friends, and then he'd get paid for that on the side, you know, get a little extra.
That's awesome. Well, you seem to have done quite well.
Yeah, I'm 90 now. Be 91 next month.
Really? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Did you have a big party last year?
I did. Did you hear about it?
Yeah, I think I heard it.
Oh, my whole family was here, and I had no idea when they walked in the visiting center at lunchtime. Had no idea. My sister and sister-in-law came from Minnesota. My grandson and his family came from Seattle. Oh, yeah. Best one I ever had.
Well, they'll have to do another one for you at 91. That'll really surprise
Well, on my 91 birthday, I'll be at the John Muir. We're having a volunteer get-together for all the volunteers. And it just happened to be on my birthday.
Wow. Okay, this is like the rest of the park is closed or something, and then it's just for volunteers?
No, we're going to go to John Muir at 5 o'clock, I think. The park closes at 5, yeah, in the evening.
Oh, yeah.
And last year, the day after my birthday, we were there. So I had a birthday party there.
That's a great place to have a
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Okay, you want to pass it on?
See if we can talk to there. Thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you got a great story.
Again.
Oh, yeah. Well, you haven't seen the last of us.
Thank you.